Welcome. Erev Tov, Chodesh Tov. As we gather together right now, grounding ourselves in the present moment, as we prepare to count another day of Omer, another step on the journey from Pesach to Shavuot, from the first fruits, from the first grains to the first fruits, from Mitzrayim, from the narrow place, moving out into the expanse, Bamidbar, into the wilderness. And so we'll take some breaths as we center ourselves in this very moment, in this present place and time. Because that's where we are right now. As we prepare to mark our next step. And so we bless. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, al sefirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign spirit of the universe, who brings us holiness with the mitzvot and connects to us with the counting of the Omer. Hayom, 15 yom, shehem shne shavuot, v'yom echad ba'omer. Today is 15 days, which is 2 weeks and 1 day of the Omer. Chesed shebetiferet, a day of loving kindness in a week of compassion. Min hametzar karatia, min hametzar karatia, Anani v'merchavia, min hametzar karatia, min hametzar karatia, Anani v'merchavia. So Chodesh Tov, on this day of loving kindness, as we start this new week of compassion. I will say that compassion is the sefirot that resonates with me the most. This is something I wish I had more of, and this is something that I cultivate all the time, and I probably will have lots to say about it through this week. But right now we're also marking Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month. We're starting a 2-day transition into the month of Iyar. In the Jewish calendar, when months have 30 days, often the transition to the next month is 2 days. To make sure we have the right day harking back to the times when things were done by signal fires and not by clocks. And that bits of psalm that I sang, that I chanted, is part of Hallel. Is this bit of a psalm that's part of a group of psalms that we would be singing together tomorrow and Saturday to mark the beginning of the new month. As I've talked about the travel to this year of the sacred calendar and the Jewish, following life through the Jewish lens of going through time, one of the things I appreciate is that, again, I mark each month. It is marked as a passage of time. And we celebrate, yay, another month we've moved through. And I will say that this year it's hard, because I am one of those people, and I know I am not alone, who are really missing communal prayer. Anyone who watched the intro to this class knows that I describe myself as a minyan going, Torah reading, tefillin wearing, shliach tzibur woman. Minyan and Shabbat morning services have been a part of my life for 20 years. It has brought me deep into practices. It brought me community, has brought me many things. And while those things are not lost, it's very hard not to gather. But sharing this practice with all of you, which brings me to be able to talk about prayer, helps. It helps bring me some of that community and that prayer experience that I so miss. Min hametzar karatiya, min hametzar karatiya, nani v'merchav ya. The thing about having a prayer practice is, because like any ritual, and again, I'll bring it back to what I love about ritual, is that by doing it over and over again, in its context, in its environment, you have this opportunity to both use the liturgy, the words that you say, as a mantra, just as a tune that runs through and brings you through and kind of just gets into you, whether you understand the exact words or not. You can feel what they are. You can read the translations. You can know what they are, but you just feel them. And then there are those times where just like those little bits just come right out to you. And in the moment that you see that bit, you get a hit. And you understand that little bit in a way that you never did before. Because you were there, as you always were, in that moment, but it was that particular moment, which obviously was different from any moment before. And even when that moment passes, the teaching remains, and you get it, and you build on it each year. The chant that I brought you from Psalm 118, which is part of the Hallel we would sing, was brought to me this year in this new beautiful tune by Aviva Chernik. And for someone to really hear the beauty of her voice and her soul, her exquisitely soulful, tune and voice that just really brings you right in. I'll put a link in the comments. But this is a bit of Hallel that I never got so deeply before. The tune I normally know is peppier. It kind of works. I don't not like it. I like it. I've said it for so many years. I didn't really think about what the words meant and what these particular ones were. It was part of the tune that carried me through. And then when I look at the translations that I've seen in the various Sidurim that I've used, I realize that the translation in all of them basically are, in here, you'll say, Min hametzar karati Yah, in distress, I called to Yah Adonai, Anani v'merchav Yah. And the normal, seemingly agrees across Sidurim translation is, you answered by setting me free. God answered by setting me free. And so I just accept it and like the tune. But again, hearing new liturgy in new ways and seeing how other people translate and synthesize it. When I heard Aviva Chernik, as she chants, I call to you from the narrow place. I call to you from the narrows. I call to you from the narrow place. And it made me go back and look at the words and realize, of course, Hametzar, Sarlis, I'm so distressed, I'm so narrow. Mitzrayim, Egypt, what do we call that? What do we know that? What have I been saying all these days as we've counted? I say we've come from Mitzrayim, from that narrow place. Anani v'merchav Yah is not exactly you've set me free. It might have been colloquial for that, but it actually is you answer me from the wide expanse, from the breath of divineness. And all of a sudden, this phrase that I've sung for so many years, all of a sudden has that new meaning. It has a particular meaning right now in this Omer period, because it epitomizes this travel that we're on. Who knew? I didn't know, but there it is. From that narrow place, I call to you. You brought us out of Egypt. The answer is to bringing into Bamidbar, into the wilderness, into the expanse where we can receive. There's a Seret to Brot, there's 10 utterances, the 10 commandments, that revelation. And now I will never read these the same again. And so I bring you on this transition to ER, on this Rosh Chodesh day, on this 15th day of the Omer, where we drop loving kindness into our container of compassion. And we learn that whatever the narrow place we're in right now, there is, as we keep moving, we will continue going towards the answer of the wide expanse. Min hametzar karati Yah. Min hametzar karati Yah. Nani v'merchav Yah. Laila Tov, Chodesh Tov, and I'll see you tomorrow.